Welcome back. In this episode, I'm going to explain to you how to add a watermark to your photo. So the big question is this: how do smartphone photo enthusiasts like us become that creative and confident photographer we desire and deserve to be, creating those beautiful, impactful photos? This podcast will give you the answers. I'm Mike, and welcome to the Smartphone Photography Club. All right, so the three options are Snapseed, Photoshop Mix, and the other one is an iPhone specific one called iWatermark. Now I prefer to just use Adobe Mix. That is my preference because you have so much more control. But if you do lots of, if you want to simplify it and you do lots of photos and you want to have a preset and it all set up so you just load a photo, press a couple of buttons and bang, it's done, then iWatermark on the iPhone is a great way of doing it. That said, I know people in our community that use Adobe Mix as part of their editing process, and it's not a burden to just add the watermark that way. Snapseed, I'll bring up a photo here. Now I'll bring up the screen, might be the best way. So remember, if you're on the podcast, every episode is also shared as a video. So I do my best to describe the audio, what is going on, what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and present it that way. So remember, podcast, if you can leave a review, that'd be fantastic. Let me know that you have. If you're watching on YouTube, remember to subscribe, hit the bell, make a comment, let me know what you like about these sessions, these episodes, and what you'd like me to cover next time, because I want to try and keep this as relevant as I can to you. All right, so I'll share the screen here. Now, all these apps I'm going to show vertically. Okay, now the first one here, it's inside Snapseed, it's called double exposure. So I'm going to go into the tools, okay, and actually while I do that, I'll load up a second photo. I'll just bring it back to me so that, you know, we all have to be careful, don't we, with the photos that we share online. And knowing that this is going onto YouTube, I have to be careful when I add a photo to a double exposure. It shows my whole camera roll and my gallery, and it shows my kids and that sort of thing. Even though I'm very transparent, my kids need to be offered the choice of whether they appear on social media or not. So that's why I just did that. So down the bottom there, you'll see an icon there, the plus, and what that does is that opens up your gallery, and then from there you can select what folder. On an Android, you also have the option of Google Photos, Dropbox, and all these other things. So I selected this photo, and here it is. This is my logo, circle logo. And one of the issues with Snapseed, and this is why it's not my preference, even though I love Snapseed, is that it doesn't downscale. Like, that's as small, I can make it big, but that is as small as I can go. So it's not very practical, is it? So the other option is Photoshop Mix. Okay, so I will open up the first image. Okay, and I can go into recent there. Okay, there's my photo. All right, so that's the bottom layer. So Photoshop Mix is a great composite app. So you can blend all different bits of apps and all that sort of thing. Press on the plus, and that introduces the new layer. So we're stacking the original photo, and now we're going to stack the watermark on top of it. Okay, so I'm going to add image, go to the recent, and you can see here, this photo, this is actually a transparent PNG. Now there's lots of different apps out there that you can do this. My preference is an app called Circle Crop, and so basically you can crop a circle, and then the background is transparent. But there's so many, like this background removers, where you can replace the background with a transparent background. But basically you need it to be, the most important thing is that it needs to be a PNG file format. Because if you do this and then you save as a JPEG, it'll just fill it in with white or black. So yeah, transparent PNG. Photoshop Mix, what I like about this is I can make that as small as I want. And then while that's selected, I can just drag my finger and I can put that exactly where I want. Super easy. And I can tap on that layer box, and in there I can change the opacity. And if you want to have it at 75% opacity, which means visibility, so 25% of it is not, it's just trying to reduce the brightness, so it's not so much in your face, instead of it, because this logo that I'm using, it's a white background, so bright white is really draws the attention. So change the opacity down to 75%. Blend modes, there's lots of different things you can do there. So that's basically it. And then you just tap the share, and you can share it to wherever you like, camera roll, or open it up into other Adobe apps. Okay, the other option that I want to show you is iWatermark. Now, if you're on an iPhone and you want to be able to do this quickly every time and save the watermark as a preset, then this works really well. So what I'm doing now is I'm selecting the photo. Okay, I'll go and select the photo. Okay, I've done that. So I've selected the photo, that's the background. Now what I want to do is I want to create a graphic watermark. There's lots of options here, it's fantastic. You can take a photo, which works, but there's no transparent background. So basically you're just slapping a photo on top of this photo. So that's one option. Create text watermarks, so you can just have the words. You can just have the words copyright 2021 or whatever year it is, or whatever it is you want to write there, your name. You can create a graphic one, which is what we're doing. So we're creating a graphic, okay? You can scan a signature, how cool is that? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the image. Okay, so I'll tap on that, select my image, and then what's happened is that's brought it up full size. So I want to pinch and zoom, make it smaller, drag it around. But I can actually also tap on edit. And in here, there's an option there where you can select scale, angle, position, so you can get it precisely exactly where you want. So I'm going to go position, and I want it in the right hand side, and I want it down the bottom. So that's put it smack bang in that right bottom corner. Scale, I'm going to change the scale. I'm going to make it smaller. Okay, 20%. Okay, do I need to change that position again because of scale? Nope, that's it. Still not small enough, 20% is not enough, so I'm going to use my fingers, and that's pretty good. I like that. What's cool about this app is I can save and edit that. So I can save this as a watermark, so I'm going to just call that logo. Save and exit. So now, whenever I go into a new photo, I can just go watermark photo, bang, done. Open up a photo, watermark photo, bang, done. Same opacity, same position, same scale, every single time. So that's a great way of doing it. Myself, I just prefer to use a Photoshop mix because I'm already in there using it quite a bit. Snapseed, like I said, doesn't really work, not very practical. There's so many different apps out there for watermarking photos. Just be careful, just be mindful, please, that when you do and you select an app, just like any app that you try for the first time, have a look at the output resolution. So have a look at how big the file is that it saves, because it might actually squash and reduce the quality and the resolution of the photo, because some of them offer a free service and you think, oh, yeah, cool, that's all right, that works. I don't need all those paid extra features, but the paid features might then include export and save the photo as a full resolution. And that's what you want. You don't want to be reducing the file size in one app, going over to another app, and then reducing the file size more and more and more because then, and if you're like me, you love app smashing and going between different apps doing different things, then you have to make sure that each of these apps that you use will save in the full resolution again. So there we go, that's how you do it. Like I said, Adobe Lightroom is another great way. You can go in and embed information into the photo, which is a great way of just making sure that your photos are not copied. Social media though will strip metadata, just be aware of that. And that's a good thing because you don't want, it actually, a lot of the social media platforms will strip geolocation and things like that, and that metadata with your copyright information is one of those things that will be taken out. So that's why, another reason why a watermark can be a great idea, and yeah, that's the way to do it. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.